What's going on, people? We are here for part two of this track breakdown. So we are gonna go into the mix of this, and then later on the master. We also got the vocals in here, so we're gonna kind of go through what I had running while I was recording my vocals, and also what I used in the mix, and kind of how we mixed them up. So let's get into it. All right, so on our master channel, I've got my basic mix preset in here that I just have already went through all of these and adjusted them for what I need. Which these will be. This preset is actually gonna be in a tutorial that's coming out, hopefully this week. But I got, so my basic mix preset tutorial will be out sometimes this week, hopefully. So that's what I got set up real quick with it, though. I've got my compression on. Whoops. Real quick, though, I got my EQ going. Just a simple EQ. I just went to where it cuts it off at 20 and 18K. Went up to 29, or it should be at 29. Yeah, cool. And I just cut this off a little bit past 19, so wherever 18, 19K is where I just cap this off. Yes, you can just leave it at 20K. This is just something that I like to do. Then I got my multi-band compressor. This is honestly just on general purpose too. And this is just how it's set up whenever you go to that preset. I like this preset a lot for just mixing in general, which is basically what it is. That's literally in the name, general purpose. So it's just for it's just for general compression within the low, the mids, and the highs. And with this one, I didn't really have to go in there and change anything. It sounded great once I put it on and didn't. So let's just for a quick representation, where this is without it. Man, I said last one the last two motherfucking times, man. This is the last one. Okay, so a lot more life. One take in this mug. Bringing a lot more things. Shout out Funny Feeling, man. Bringing a lot more things to life. I gotta keep the ambiguity going, you know what I mean? I gotta shout out to myself, because that's how it is. So I also got fast balancer on there. This is not a part of the preset. This is just something I usually add into the master. This is free. I'll drop this in the little description box below, but you can get the free demo version. Yeah, you can't save what it does each time, but let's say you use it, you can use this. So like I'll show you what I mean instead of just saying it. So we'll go here. We'll go about here, okay? And then you also get to hear what the song and what the verse is. So get a little 2-for-1 here. So hit learn on that, or actually just hit play on this. Make sure it's learning.
So sick with this shit, think I caught the flu. No motherfucker, I don't do that, my OUs. All that bullshit be what my eyes see through. Flip the beat on, ain't no telling what I'm gon' do. Always had a lot to prove, but
so hopefully, as you could hear, a whole bunch of life got brought into it once that hit. Now you can leave it at neutral, but bright and warm are gonna be where the main differences are. So I'll let you hear it with warm.
So sick with this shit, think I caught the flu. No motherfucker, I don't do that, my OUs. All that bullshit be what my eyes see through. Flip the beat on, ain't no telling what I'm gon' do. Always had a lot to prove, but now I just chill. Stay ill, keep it real, yeah, that's how the fuck I feel. This the kind of rap that bring hip-hop back with the state of rap.
So as you can tell, each one they bring a different balance and depth to the mix as a whole. And you can also use these you can use this plugin for a lot of different things. You can use it for instruments, you can use it for drums, you can use it for vocals. Um which I do oftentimes use, but this is just a real game changer to your master channel in general, just because of how much power this one thing does, where you could try to get you would try to emulate what this one plugin does with maybe 3 or 4 other plugins, and that's going to take up more CPU than just throwing this in your master channel, click and learn, and letting it do its thing. But hey, if you're old school, if you just like to do it your way, fucking keep doing it your way. But I'm all about, efficiency and what works and what helps me out, because it is exhausting when you're doing everything. So if you just need something that is real quick and really, really can change how it sounds like that, just do it. Just if you find something like this, just do it. And I will leave this in this link to this VST in the description, like I said. But I did leave it on warm when I mixed. As you can see, it doesn't save, but I did leave it on warm when I was mixing this and bouncing it out to my master track. But
so sick with this shit, think I caught the flu. No motherfucker, I don't do that, my OUs. All that bullshit be what my I see.
I just really like how it sounds with that warmth on it. I just like it. And with this kind of like jazzier boom bap, lo-fi-ish type of track, it definitely is the icing on the cake. Like, it definitely sounds like that's, what it is. So that was kind of, besides that in Maximus, which I usually on this, I typically just leave it on the clear master preset and let it do its thing. And then on this limiter, I only use the limiter. I don't use a compressor on this, and I use this limiter more to truly be able to pick and adjust to where I want my overhead to be for my master channel, my master track.
So sick with this shit, think I caught the flu. No motherfucker, I don't do that, my OUs. All that.
So basically, I'm just using this to try and make sure that it stays between 6 and 3 dB, but doesn't pass 3 dB. So that way I can have this area here for overhead on my master track to bring it up to that 0 dB without, over clipping anything, without anything sounding too warm, anything too noisy. It kind of just allows for kind of for a cleaner sound, just boosting up all of these levels at once versus, if I were to go in and just try to make this mix it up and then be like, okay, I'm just going to master it in here, and then keep bouncing it out, going back and like, all right, now I need to adjust this, now I need to adjust this, now I need to add an equalizer onto my fucking, onto whatever. It's not worth it. So I just leave that overhead there. I try to at least make it 3 dB cut off, and I have that overhead. So that's the master channel. So now let's go kind of into these vocals here. So whenever I'm recording, this is what I was using as my recording track. Whenever I'm recording, I just kind of go here to vocal presence, and it'll add a default there to where it's more or less like this without that 3 being there. So it's kind of like that. But for my vocals, as you can hear, I've got kind of like a fucking, there's a lot of, when I'm close like this to the mic, there's a lot of fucking depth that I'm sure you can hear in my voice. And unfortunately, it always will hit mics differently depending, because like, there's other, like Pop Smoke got a deep ass voice, and like Future kind of got a deep voice, and you know, like Kill Bill the rapper. There's a lot of other rappers that have deep ass voices, but when you leave all of that, when you leave all of this in here into your vocal mix on a track, it just adds a lot of mud and a lot of like unclarity to your mix and your master. So like I'll show you what I'm talking about.
So sick with this shit, think I caught the flu. No motherfucker, I don't do that my OUs. All that bullshit be wet.
So like
So sick with this shit, think I caught the flu. No motherfucker, I don't do that my OUs. All that bullshit
you hear all that, it just sounds a lot more muddy and it just sounds like, you know, not as professional. So you just want that professional sound. So when I'm recording and I'm setting that up for my vocal just straight through the mic and into the track, this is the preset that I use, or this is how I have my thing set up off of my EQ. And then I have my compressor on, and honestly all I go to is the vocal preset here. Click it and I just leave it cuz it works well with my voice. But depending on, you know, let's say if you're singing a lot higher, let's say if you're just singing in general, you're probably going to need to change it. If you've got a way deeper voice than me and you're rapping, if you're, you know, if you're yelling, if you're like doing some crazy yelling shit, you're definitely going to need to change it. So it just depends on you. But that generally, like, I would still recommend just click on that and then make your adjustments from there. Now the actual, like, my actual vocal channel in here, I have a few different things going on. I've got just a EQ here just to brighten my high ends just a little bit, make my voice a little brighter, a little more professional. Like I keep saying, like, you just want, if you're making your own music, you know, it does make a difference if it sounds professional or not, because you got to remember that whether you like it or not, people are listening to, if they're listening to your music, they're going to listen to it alongside other professional clear set. If it's rappers, it's going to be J. Cole, Kendrick, or, you know, maybe even, you know, less known people. But either way, if it's still Suicide Boys, if it's still like somebody that is still well known but they've got an underground sound, you know, Night Lavelle, Shakewell, all those dudes, they still have a professional sound. So you got to keep that in mind. So I got on my first EQ here, I brought up the treble frequencies just to make my vocal a little brighter. And then here I got I brought this down in that sub bass area just to you know, add some extra help to it. I did use the fast balancer on my vocal I just went here. I went to male vocal, went to learn. Oh, whoops. Man, I said last one, the last two motherfuckers.
Caught the flu. No motherfucker, I don't do that my OUs. All that bullshit be wet my I see through.
And it does add like a...
Caught the flu. No motherfucker, I don't do that my OUs. All that bullshit be wet my eyes.
It adds like flavor to it. I keep saying it's adding like a flavor of depth to it. So, and then this is it if it's
Caught
right.
the flu. No motherfucker, I don't do that my OUs. All that bullshit be wet my I see through. Flip the beat on,
And
ain't no
that's
telling what I'm gonna do.
But to be real, I just left it on neutral for this mix when I did it. So, but I just at least wanted to show you so you could hear the difference. On this one, I just went down here to general purpose again, but I just did the first one, and then I tweaked it to where basically I've got like I left the low and the high alone, but then I came in here and made it to where this threshold is kind of back to about 20 decibels, right? 29, yeah. So, and I kicked my ratio up a little bit just so that way the compressor's kind of like really working for it. And then I lowered my attack down so that way it doesn't take time to start compression to the vocal. I want that to start immediately because there is some spots in here where, cause like I've, just from how long I've been doing this, I've realized how much of a mid presence my vocals have. That, I know that if I'm rapping and it gets intense, like that needs to be monitored. And if I'm rapping and I'm, if I'm losing like, I'm running out of gas, or like I don't have enough breath, I'm gonna need some gain work to help me out in the compression stage. So, I basically just kicked up my ratio a little bit, so it's telling the compressor like, hey, you really need to like get going with this.
Caught the flu, no motherfucker, I don't do that. My OUs, all that bullshit be what my I see through. Flip the beat on, ain't no telling what I'm gonna do.
And if I didn't have this,
caught the flu, no motherfucker, I don't do that. My OUs, all that bullshit be what my I see through.
Just a lot more. It just helps so much more with the clarity of it all.
Caught the flu, no motherfucker, I don't do that. My OUs, all that bullshit be what my I see through.
That just really makes a difference. And then I just put another EQ on it afterwards. I just kind of took those mids down again just to help my vocals out a little more with that mid presence. Took the sub down a little more, brightened it up afterwards, and then I did put a stereo shaper on it. And I just literally, like, when you add this into your channel, it starts out like this, and then all I did was just I brought these two back up, and that's it. And so like this is it with that.
Caught the flu, no motherfucker, I don't do that. My OUs, all that bullshit be what my I see through. Flip the beat on, ain't no telling what I'm gonna do.
So big difference, right?
Caught the flu, no motherfucker, I don't do that. My OUs, all that bullshit be what my I see through. Flip the beat on, ain't no telling.
Big difference. I mean, that's, if you can't hear that, then you need to put some fucking headphones on or something. But that adds a big difference as far as depth, and like my vocals just like it actually sounds like I'm right fucking there. So stereo shapers, they fucking help so much. And then I do have a kind of like a vocal bus over here that I have side chained to it, that I just added. So whenever I'm doing my vocal effects, I like to just put it into a patcher, into one thing. That's just kind of like, I just like to do it. I don't know. It's just something I like to do. So I will actually make a tutorial on this itself, and kind of the setup and different shit you can do with it. But just to make it quick and simple, I just went in, added a reverb too, took down my dry. You don't need it with your side chaining it. Turned up that wet on there. Turned down the high cut a little bit, and I just pulled up the size. It was about here. I pulled it up to here, and I liked it, so I just left it how it was. And then I have an EQ that it is running through before it goes to the output. And on that EQ, I just literally wanted this kind of mid-high range right here on the reverb. So I just was like, fuck the high end, fuck the low end, and just keep this. And I like how it sounds. So,
caught the flu, no motherfucker, I don't do that. My OUs, all that bullshit be what my I see through. Flip the beat on, ain't no telling.
Really, if you like I keep saying, if you have headphones, like, you're really gonna hear.
Caught the flu, no motherfucker, I don't do that. My OUs.
Now there's just such like now it's kind of like muddy in my vocals, but then when you leave that,
caught the flu, no motherfucker, I don't do that. My
makes a big difference. Which is why I do it that way, because you set up this to however you want your reverb, send it through the EQ, and just select whatever frequencies you're just trying to leave, and it sounds so much cleaner with the reverb versus just slapping a reverb onto your vocal channel itself. I would highly recommend side chaining it. Whether or not you put it in a patcher, don't matter. I would just still highly recommend side chaining it, because when you have more control over how much volume you want on.
Caught the flu, no motherfucker, I don't do that. My OUs, all that bullshit be what my.
Look at all that control. You're not gonna have that control if you just directly have your reverb and your delay strictly on your vocal channel. So I would highly recommend with vocals sidechaining them to your effects versus just putting your effects on there. I also have a delay in here that pretty simple. The delay was up here. I just threw it.
Caught the flu, no motherfucker, I don't do that, my OUs. All that bullshit be what my I see through. Flip the beat on, ain't no telling what I'm gon' do. Always had a lot to prove, but now I just
pulled down that delay down
caught
here.
The flu, no motherfucker, I don't do that, my OUs.
To where it's kind of quicker. Kept it on stereo. Pulled the level down. This level is gonna basically be how many echoes you get. So if you wanted to just echo, then you would just leave it like this, and it would basically just not stop echoing. But for my vocals, I don't really like all that, so I just pull the level down about here to where it's just echo. You know what I mean? It's just quick. Pulled up the cutoff a little bit just because it's still gonna go through an EQ, and that was about it on the delay. And then I went in here, routed the delay to an EQ, and only kept the high end, but then ducked the very high end just because I've already done so much EQ work on my vocals itself on the high ends to make it bright that I was like, okay, the delay being bright might add a little too much. So really just kept the high mid, pulled down that high end a little bit, and that was just kind of how I left it. I liked how it sounded.
Caught the flu, no motherfucker, I don't do that.
And then I just, pulled this
Caught
down.
The flu, no motherfucker, I don't do that, my OUs.
And, if you can hear it, I'm sure if you're listening to this on a fucking phone or whatever, you're probably not going to hear that. But you got headphones and you're going to hear the difference. But for anybody listening on anything, this is what it sounds like turned all the way up.
Caught the flu, no motherfucker, I don't do that, my OUs. All that bullshit be what my I see through. Flip the beat on, ain't no telling what
So for me, I like to turn that down just because, one, having that up there, way too much. There's way too much going on in the vocals. And then, let me turn that up and then play the beat with it, right? So.
Caught the flu, no motherfucker, I don't do that, my OUs. All that
way too much going on. We turn this down. One, not only is it just going to be subtle there and it's still going to be there. It's like your ears will still hear it. You just won't know that you're hearing it, but that's what it's all about. And two, when this gets mastered, it's going to get turned up again. So leaving this lower leaves you more room for when that master gets turned up. It's, now, oh, I can't hear this. Well, now you can because you mastered it and it got louder. So just always remember that with effects and things like that, the little subtle things are always going to be what kind of help it as far as effects go and as far as side chains go. So that's pretty much, that's how I set up my vocals. That's the effect picture I got going on. And that's pretty much how I mix this John. So let's open up the master here and get into that. So master channel. I just took in the mix that I brought in. Yes, I mixed it 7 times. You don't got shit on me, motherfucker. I don't want to hear it. So brought in the EQ again. I just put in the 2018, cut it off at 29 hertz. For anybody that doesn't know, 29 hertz is the industry standard for music that is released on major platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, all that shit. So if you put your music out on there, they're already going to do this to your shit. So I just do it because I'm trying to have my shit sound like my shit and not what the fuck somebody else mastered it to be. So left it at 20K because in the mix we kind of cut it off a little bit earlier than 19K. Again, I slapped on the Maximus here with the clear master, and you can I'll let you hear the difference.
Man, I said last one the last 2 motherfucking times, man. This is the last one.
Right, so
One take in this mug. Shout out Phonic Villain, man. One take in this mug. Let's go.
So just, general compression right there. Gives it a lot more life, I feel like. Definitely brings it up in the mix to be a little louder, yet still keeping that professional clarity there. I put in another EQ after the Maximus, that clear master there. All I really did was take down the low ends just a little bit. The bass was still a little crazy, and then I took those mids down just because mixed between my vocals, the piano that's going on, and the drums, I wanted there to be a little bit of just not so much presence in that midsection. So I brought it down just a tad. Like I didn't, this is where it would be, and that's where it is. So, it's not like I did anything crazy. Went up to the high end, brought that up just a little bit. That's where it would be. That's where it is. Like I said, nothing crazy. And all I did was put a limiter on the bottom here and just put that gain up. And that was really
I said last one, the last two motherfuckers. So sick with this shit, think I caught the flu. No motherfucker, I don't do that, my OUs. All that bullshit be what my eyes see through. Flip the beat on, ain't no telling what I'm gon' do. Always had a lot to prove, but now I just chill, stay ill, keep it real. Yeah, that's how the fuck I feel.
So, I mean, as you can see, it's not really doing a whole lot of, like, there's barely parts in here that it needs to limit anything. Yet it still is bringing it up to be, it's loud enough to compete in these fucking mix and master wars, bro. This shit is fucking stupid. But still keeping it loud, still keeping it professional. As you can see, there isn't a whole lot going on as far as the master goes, but I'm gonna tell you this. If you're going crazy on your master, you didn't go crazy enough on your mix. Like your master thing you shouldn't need to take more than like 15-20 minutes at most on a master. And if you are, you need to go back to your mix and figure out what you need to change, because a good mix will always lead to a great master. Like, mastering is the very subtle little things that need to be changed before it gets published for, wherever you're trying to release it at. But, it's nothing. It should never be anything too crazy. Don't let anybody, bring you down or tell you, oh, don't ever feel like all of your pressure and all of your worries in the master. It's everything that you need to figure out is always going to be in your mix. And always, don't be afraid to use the tools that are provided to you. Like, this is a great compressor, and it has great presets, and these presets are here just to make the process faster for us. So just use it. Like, who gives a fuck about what other people are doing or what other people are using? So to anybody discouraged or that are just like, oh, I wish I didn't only use presets. Fuck it. Like, just use the presets. Figure out what you need to, and then take the time to figure out the rest whenever you can. But these are here to just kind of help the process get some time cut out of it, because that sometimes it should be taking forever. So that's pretty much the master thing. That was my fucking TED Talk on mastering, I guess. And then all I did here was fade it out at the end. So just a real simple fade. Real simple. And it's nothing, it's nothing like it's crazy. It's not that long of a song. It's only a little bit more than 2 minutes. But, I liked it. I liked my verse. I had fun rapping on it. And that's really what it's all about, is just having fun making music. So, that's the breakdown of the fucking mix and master. That's gonna be my new release. It's gonna be out everywhere. It's gonna be called 2 Cents. I'm gonna give you guys a little sneak peek, I guess, on it, since I doubt it'll be out this week, because that shit kind of takes a minute. So yeah, I'm gonna let it run out, let it do its thing, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. See you motherfuckers later. Man, I said last one the last 2 motherfucking times, man. This is the last one. One take in this mug. Shout out Phonic Villain, man. One take in this mug. Let's go.
So sick with this shit, think I caught the flu. No motherfucker, I don't do that, my OUs. All that bullshit be what my eyes see through. Flip the beat on, ain't no telling what I'm gon' do. Always had a lot to prove, but now I just chill. Stay ill, keep it real, yeah, that's how the fuck I feel. This the kind of rap that bring hip-hop back. With the state of rap, I don't know where hip-hop at. Yeah, I be on my dolo, straight stand on my bully. I ain't know what the flow, now I've come back fully. So sick and tired of being uninspired. Put the blunt to the fire, pan to the pad, get to riding on my Big Sean shit. Thinking I decided, bitch, I'm tryna live, not just stay clocked in, boxed in with all these doubts. Got me exhausted, running out of options, so I resort to doming. Sacrificing vices for coping, so I resort to flowing. Had to learn the hard way, some things you just gotta let it be. If you ain't my homie, keep it 6 feet. You ain't stepping 10 to me, I tend to be what these motherfuckers pretend to be. Tryna be that motherfucker rapping between Sway and Heatherby. This isn't me, homie, this my soul speaking. Turn on the track and write for the whole weekend. Do this for the love, yeah, and that's the whole reason. Keep your 2 cents in your pocket, bitch, I promise that I don't need it. Ugh. Man, bitch, I promise that I don't need it. I be telling them, bro. Wrote this shit at work, man. One fucking take on that hoe. One fucking take on that hoe. Let the beat ride, man.